Perfection. A scorched outpost in the middle of nowhere.
You know how close I am to leaving this place right now? How close?
Maybe that's why Val and Earl decided to leave town.
Hey, hold up. That's Edgar Deans.
They just picked the wrong day to do it.
Jeez. You guys better get the hell out of here. There's a killer on the loose.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Movie Club. My name is Trae Price, and of course, joining me is Mr. Shakis Moore and some other special guests as we talk about 1990s Tremors.
He called us special. I really like that.
Thank you for being here. Our special guest before we get started with the show, Miss S.J. Manzoor. Go ahead, say your intro that I love so much. Come on now.
Oh, we're throwing a do it.
It's been so long.
Do it.
So, how do you want me to start?
However you want to. Just say the thing.
You mean my name?
Yeah.
My name's the thing. The thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Okay. My name's Shiza. It's like kind of like pizza. Like she's a pizza. She's a bug. She's a man eater. Whatever you want to call it. Call me.
It's so long since I've heard that. Oh, it's so precious.
Did you have a song?
It was also
made
real
up
low.
too, the both
Yes,
of
we
you?
did. Yes, we did. 1, 2, 3, go. Who's that girl?
Who's that girl?
Who's that girl?
Who's that girl?
SJ.
It's funny because I've never even seen the
It's
New Girl.
really sad. You
It's
should watch
crazy
it.
how similar. It's crazy how similar.
But no, also joining us is Mr. Tristan.
That's right. I'm here. The most abrupt.
I really hate
very.
You seem so much like normal Bob. It's really like, hi.
Dude,
How are
yeah.
ya?
I mean, I'm here. I don't know if I'm supposed to plug anything right now or for the end of
Not
the
yet.
podcast.
I just wanted you to say hello. This man said, but hey.
Oh,
I got
okay.
stuff to
Well,
plug, though.
hello,
Here we go.
former Radio Free Radford member, I suppose.
nice. There we go.
Former GM for 2 years.
Oh, Mr. G.
That's right. Tristan Ryan's formerly or
Oh.
partially part of Hot 100.7, River Valley's
AKA
hit music station.
Mr. President out here. I see you with
man.
the campaign.
Little-
With the campaign.
Yeah, got a lot of stuff going on outside of that. But
Tristan, nobody
he
cares
doesn't
about
want
you.
to plug anything
Tristan,
right now.
Tristan,
so.
we don't care about you.
Yeah,
We care about worms.
that's right.
Underground worms.
We
Big
do
worm?
apparently care about
Big
worms.
That's
worms.
it.
It's
So
the
people,
big
like you
worms.
know, like we've been doing lately, we've been going through them classics. Of course, like, once again, movies that I consider classics, right? So one of these happens to be a movie like just from back in my childhood. It was the first Kevin Bacon movie that I ever seen, and it is. There are so many B horror movies out there that I remember in my head, like those wild movies. I remember there's a movie out there with a killer alligator that runs into a wedding and eats a bride in half. I remember Arachnophobia.
Gator?
I remember that.
Isn't that called Gator?
I think
I think it
remember
might
that.
be.
Wait,
Yeah,
is
that
it
movie
just called Gator?
traumatized me slightly when I was a child.
Really?
It came on like, I don't know, the equivalent of like today's FX.
Mhm.
My family was just watching it, scrolling through. Oh my goodness! Why is she getting eaten in the? Oh God! Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yes. See, but then
I'm
it's
laughing,
that
but I'm scared.
Arachnophobia, which is a movie where
Nope.
I was afraid to wear shoes for the longest time. There's a scene in that movie where a person puts on the shoes, unbeknownst there's a spider in there and it bites her.
No,
I think it's a
file
brown
under movies
recluse.
she can't watch.
Nope. I'm out.
You don't want to watch it.
But this one, because of how spectacular it is in my eyes, Tremors, a classic.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people here today, so I want to get their thoughts before I get into my diatribe. And we're gonna start all the way over there at the end, the one that's looking around like, oh, hope you don't pick me. SJ, what did you
I have one
think of
thing
your?
to say.
You have one thing to say. What is your one thing to say?
It gave me tremors.
Oh my goodness.
All right, people. Well, that's been the movie club.
Do we have a
podcast.
sound
I hate
drop for
puns. I hate puns. There's only one rule: no puns.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
feel like
so
we need a
punny.
moment. I
Unless
feel like
he
we need
makes
like a
puns.
sound
My
drop
name's
for
a
that or
pun.
something.
Come on. She's a bug. She's a man eater. My name is a pun. I can't help it.
It's a net. I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
You can't introduce yourself
Are you like-
twice. That's against the podcast laws, apparently.
So, what did you think?
Mhm.
Because this is your first time watching it, right? You've never seen Tremors before.
No, I have. No, I haven't.
So
If I
hey,
did, I
and
don't
you,
remember.
and the reason why I want to call you before I call on these two knuckleheads,
Because I was looking around.
because well, one, yes, you got called out in class for that, but because out of all of us in movie theater, you were the one that you got so absorbed into the world of the movie, and I like that. I find it's so wholesome. So, what did you think of the movie?
I was scared. I was. And then, I mean, it was really...
Make sure you talk to the mic now, because you
Okay,
talking all
okay.
the way over here.
Hi, Mike. Sorry.
Another pun, man.
That wasn't a pun, was it? Okay.
You got your whole head
Well,
against the
listen.
microphone right now.
I thought it was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did. And yeah, I did get drawn in. I don't even know at what point, probably from the beginning.
One of these days, you're gonna have to get your ass on a wagon and stay there. Jeez, it's not like I don't have better things to do than to climb towers and drag your hairy ass down. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. Even though it was like a really old movie. Like, when was it made?
1990, or at least it was
1990?
released in 1990.
I just got absorbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What absorbed you?
Well,
like
the
what?
effects didn't look like they were believable for
Okay.
me, you know. And
You do know there
This-
aren't giant worms out there burning.
No, I know.
Because you moving. I just want you to know you be safe. You going into an area much like this one. So I need you to be safe out there. Don't be worried about these giant worms underneath the ground.
A couple states away from Nevada.
Hmm?
I said a couple states away from Nevada. So
I mean,
There aren't giant worms.
No.
they travel real quick though.
apparently.
And you know, there are. If there aren't, but if there are, I'll just stop walking or moving, vibrating.
That's what Tremors taught you,
I'd
was
now
if there's
climb
danger to
the
stop
highest
walking.
surface.
It's the reverse of stop, drop, and roll. You just stop.
Just stop.
Just
Yep.
stop. That's it.
Okay, no rolling.
If it's
here.
on
No
fire,
rolling.
just stop. It'll go out eventually.
It's fine. This is fine.
Everything is
Yeah.
All
fine.
right. Okay. Shakis, what'd you think?
This movie is ridiculous. I hate it. It's a farce. No, I'm just playing. It is crazy though. And from the beginning, I'm just sitting here like, I was waiting for that. I wasn't really feeling off-brand Billy Ray Cyrus or John Bernthal and Kevin Bacon. You know, the dialogue was, I guess I came in there thinking it would be a little more serious than it was. It was not. And it was hilarious. And it's just,
You didn't think that was serious?
no.
So did you think it was serious?
That's why I jumped several times.
She did. She
I was
absolutely
so
jumped
absorbed
off of
into
the
it
floor.
because I was taking it seriously.
Okay.
But I was talking mainly just like the
Wait,
dialogue.
what wasn't so? What gave it like
The dialogue.
the dialogue?
Almost every word they said is just like crazy one-liners.
Well, it just suddenly hit me, you know. Stampede.
And you know, I after the first two scenes, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I realized where we are now. I realized what type of movie this is gonna be. So I adjusted myself and just sat back and had fun.
Right.
This is just a fun experience. I think this is a good group experience movie too. You know, this format we had was well suited for this movie. I'll say that. It was real fun after a while. Dealing with super intelligent big worms. Like
That apparently go on too long.
I mean, super intelligent is, in my opinion, a stretch, but intelligent enough to adapt, I guess.
I mean, constantly adapting.
yeah.
That's hyper intelligence, my guy.
How many parts did you say there were after this?
There are 6 apparently.
There you go.
We got the Wikipedia pulled up, right?
They constantly learn to do new things. They literally box these people in,
Mhm.
and over time slowly box them into these smaller areas, and eventually even stopping them from being elevated.
Right.
Like they had to start damn near sacrificing themselves, which I'm surprised we didn't see at the end there.
That was good. I'm glad nobody was sacrificed, because then I would be crying crocodile tears.
Wait, crocodile
those
tears
are
mean
fake
if-
Wait,
tears.
those are
Wait.
fake tears.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I thought they were like a lot of tears. Like, a lot of
A crocodile amount of tears, guys.
Crocodiles, they're fake tears.
No. Like a lot of
That's the
tears.
idiom.
The saying for that is typically "Cry me a river."
Or a fuck ton.
Yeah, or a fuck ton.
I would cry a river.
I feel like Cry Me a River is the condescending one. You know, someone says
typically-
that.
Oh,
like, Cry Me
yeah.
a River.
Cry me a river.
Like,
yeah.
Or unless
but
you're
that's how
Justin
I've heard it.
Timberlake or something. You know what I mean? Cry me a river. Yeah.
You know, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
It'd be
grooving.
so
And
funny
we're
if we
grooving
get
on
a
the
copyright
podcast.
strike
And I was like,
for that.
and no funding.
Like, for real though, off key singing though. Like he's like, no, I don't care. You say it.
No, if they
two
copyright
seconds.
claim it, it's canon apparently. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just ask
We're
me,
good.
Canyon. Yeah, it's a whole YouTube channel.
I don't want to.
I'll show you
Plugging
sometime.
other people.
But this movie actually got progressively better. Like the longer it goes on, like the more I'm like, okay, this isn't actually too super jokey. I mean, the dialogue doesn't really change in that regard, but everything else, like the mood kind of shifts a little bit. It feels a little more serious. And wish that fucking annoying kid got though.
The basketball kid.
Yeah.
What do you think this is? The Blob? Come on now.
Everyone doesn't get their just desserts.
Everybody does it.
But I do like that they gave him a fake, or not a fake gun, but they gave him a
gun with no bullets.
no
No
gun.
Gave the kid a whole
Smart.
44 Magnum.
With nothing in it.
Dang it, Earl. Gave me a bullet, no bullets.
And Bert was right.
Bert. Excuse me, I said Earl. Shit. Excuse me, partner. Oof. Tristan.
All right. That was all right.
All right. Are you
Yeah,
to
I mean, I
advocate?
get it.
Loved it.
So I'm jaded, I guess, because the movie to me doesn't hold up as well. Like when you start thinking about it too much.
Okay.
But I realize
Why are you
this
thinking
movie
about
isn't
it too
supposed to be
much?
like, oh, don't think about it too hard. I mean, you got sci-fi giant worm monsters that eat people and devour cars and pull them into the earth and stuff. But at certain points, it's like, I mean, there's plot armor when you get with like any show or TV, like or movie, right? But the plot armor was the most evident in my examination of the movie when they're on the rocks.
You never got down off that damn tower.
I think I have an idea.
You know, we're gonna have to come up with some sort of plan. He's just gonna wait us to death.
Yeah, well, I was
Why don't we
thinking
just
if
make a run for it? We outran him yesterday. Run for it? Running's not a plan. Now, running's what you do when the plan fails. Valentine, you're not even trying to think of a plan. Well, it ain't like we got a hell of a lot of options. Always options. We just gotta think of them, that's all. All right, well, why don't you start thinking? Well, why in the hell do I always have to do all the thinking? Who died and made you Einstein?
you guys don't
Oh, yeah.
And they put like, oh, wait a minute. We've been on here for the last 8 hours. We slept out in the middle of the cold. Oh, what is this? Oh, some conveniently placed metal slash, these are totally not painted metal poles out in the middle of the desert against the particular rock that we're on. We're going to hop, skip, and jump and pole vault from rock to rock all the way to the next vehicle. I mean, that's plot armor, and it's fun. At the end of the day, it is a fun movie, but if you're watching this, don't come into it with my perspective of somebody who takes things like this like a little too seriously. I think it's an okay movie. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again. It's just not quite my taste.
I would totally watch it
personally.
again.
I think it's all right. Like I couldn't like Shiza, I couldn't quite buy into the suspension of disbelief for this movie. And it's just the reality. I'm not gonna say anything that's not true. So
No, yeah.
yeah.
Like, okay, so here's my question for you then.
Okay.
Because you talking about suspension of disbelief. I mean, we're once you see the giant worms, I would imagine suspension of disbelief is broken at that point. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be able to.
I mean, like, and I get that. Like I mentioned a few moments ago, it's like, oh yeah, there's giant sci-fi monster worms and stuff. But everything outside of those, dependent upon the interactions with those, you would think that some of the characters might make some like different choices, potentially. I mean, it's a fun movie though. Like
it's a town with a population of 14 people.
Yeah.
Wait, not a town, a city.
Excuse me. a
Apparently,
city.
yeah. A city classifies as anything over 20 people in this movie for some reason, like, but
Over
not
10.
25.
Yeah, it had to be over 10.
Like, I want to say the population might have been like 21
No, it was 14.
people total.
They didn't have the.
No,
they
it
must
By
not
the
have had-
end, it was 14.
They had it on the sign when you go into here entering perfection, elevation, this population 14. Yep.
They did not have
Yeah.
money
I mean,
for
it-
extras.
It's a fun movie, but I can't imagine myself sitting down to go, you know what, let's sit down. Let me get myself a drink. Let me get myself some popcorn and let me watch Tremors. It's just not quite for me. I mean, I enjoy watching it with you guys. It's fun. Like if I was watching it with people, like friends of mine and stuff, like I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Like we can make a game out of this. That's cool with me.
That's something that I learned about you tonight is that you love making games out of movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Drinking games.
I feel like well, you mentioned earlier, this is a B horror movie. Like B movies like this to me scream, we need a drinking game. Every time Kevin Bacon says, "Oh man," you know what I mean? Or something like along that line. He says it a lot. Enough for me to say, wait a minute, he says that a lot. And then immediately after I said that, he says it twice.
I'm gonna give you that one. That was a good timing on your part. That was good timing on your part.
Perfect timing.
I can't front you for none that you're saying here. I really can't, honestly. Like I said, this is one of those classics for me. I think when I was a kid at the time, like seeing this movie, I was kind of like SJ. I was like, yo, except more from scared to like, this is so cool. Because if you look at the Graboids, I think one of the things that hold it together, that make it stand the test of time, is the practical effects. Yeah. The way the Graboids look in this movie, and I think this is probably one of the only times, because I don't know if they're practical in the subsequent films or if they're just CG. I believe they're fully CG in the third one just because of how they are. But just the way that they look, how they're texturalized, how they feel, how they look when they're falling and they come up out of the ground, like you actually would believe.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah.
And then you have like the characters in this movie, like they do such. You're so like warmed up to this world, you know. Like you're warmed up to Val and Earl. You know, these folk heroes almost. Like that's what they're made out to be. You know what I mean? They're everyman. They're the handyman. They're the guys that'll just be there for you until they're ready to just pick up and move out of the town because they're tired of it. But there are reluctant heroes here. You know, you can see why somebody like Bert would become like a main character later on, because he's so like he's just this charismatic.
So
exactly.
Kind of
yeah. I can answer this problem with dynamite.
Broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you bastard?
Like, well, it's fun to see.
But
you
yeah,
know?
to get back to your practical effects moment, yeah, the practical effects of this movie are absolutely great, though, especially like 1990 wise. I thought the practical effects, like one of the first moments that you see the worm monsters, what are they called again? I'm sorry.
The Graboids.
The Graboids.
They're called
one of the first moments you see the Graboids.
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 Because they grab you?
So I believe
Okay, here's the theory.
When you first see them, like,
What are their androids?
Hold on. Let me finish.
Oh yeah. But like when you first see the Graboids, it's like, oh man, like 1990 like practical effects, like this is really cool.
Oh yeah.
And the ways that they use practical effects throughout the movie were really interesting.
Yeah, like the way that they
I'll give it
ground.
credit that way. Absolutely give it credit.
Which
as far as that.
Also leads to some really good shots that we see in the movie, like like whenever they do give like not really a point of view from their point. I think there is some point of view shots up there in the ground.
I think they
always
point
thought
of
like
view
it was
transition to like a third dimension.
Right. And then like I love the scene when it's let's see, what was his name? Rhonda, played by Finn Carter, and Earl. And I think Val running back into the store, and they got the Graboids coming out from underneath the bar.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Like a lot of this is really cool. A lot of this movie goes from like damn near a Steven Spielberg joint to like The Search for Curly's Gold. You know what I mean? Like that like ridiculous level of like Western comedy or whatever. Like they play with this balance so well. That is why I'm able to just sit back and enjoy this. You know, not like yeah, there are a lot of stuff that you
like campy-ish moments.
Like moments like okay, so they react to noise, right? And we've seen when they're trying to keep him in the shadows, cloak and dagger. Motherfucker make one step, it's like, oh, I got you, I got you now. But when it get later on in the movie, all right, ain't no move.
Yeah.
If it was anybody else in the movie early on, they'd be, I got you. You in the ground now. But it's when it's Kevin Bacon,
like I said,
forward.
That's plot armor, man. It's all that plot.
I can move my foot 3 times.
That thing was chasing them around too. I'm like, they had to
like
that.
playing with it.
That had to be like a moment where they were fucking around. There had to be. There's no way
That's
they
kinda
actually wrote that in.
It was comical.
Like,
I like that though.
This is one of those movies where I know it's not in like it shouldn't be in the same vein of like Alien and like we were talking earlier about
Like The Thing or
with
something?
practical effects, you know,
Yeah.
creatures with the Thing, with Alien, with the Predator count.
Was it practical?
Maybe.
I don't
Sure.
think so.
I don't know.
I mean, he's got a really cool suit.
Got them badass dreads.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just like, kill me. Like, yeah. Do it.
I don't know. I ain't got time to bleed.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. What's wrong? They put you too many pencils. God damn it! Every time I bring up that movie,
That's a
but
fun
no,
one too.
I don't know if this should be in the echelon of those films. But I honestly, in my heart, I'd say I think so. Like I'm not surprised it's become sort of a cult classic film that it has like a straight to DVD, run of like sequels and things. Even to this day, like in television shows that they've tried to that got canceled, but they're still trying to bring it back. It's such a fun series. Even when you watch the sequels, like y'all haven't seen the sequels yet. Maybe one day we will. Maybe I'll travel down and visit y'all. We'll just, all right, y'all, it's time for Tremors. Just like, how did you even get in our house? It's Tremor time. Don't even ask about it.
Yeah,
it's Tremor time.
I mean, I've seen part of the like fourth or fifth one.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any past there. I need to sit down.
Well,
and
when
watch
it
'em.
becomes Bert's kind of thing,
Mhm.
like I've seen part of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
That's fair.
I mean, they hold up in the sense of like the original spirit of the films
Mhm.
from what I've seen, but it updates in the sense of like, oh man, the guns are crazier and they're
Right.
bigger, and
Right.
and now we got the government involved for some reason. Like that
And
was
I
my experience.
That
with
was
those.
most of the excitement for me was when watching these as a kid was watching the graboids evolve because in the subsequent sequels, like I told you at the end of the movie, they evolve. They
This
go
was
from
the first one.
yes,
right?
this was the first
Yeah.
one. There's even a prequel, which I kind of wonder how, because I think like that was kind of the leading part of the rest of these films was that the graboids change, they become a bigger threat. But then they got a prequel out there. It takes place in Western times.
I mean,
That
this
seems
is like
reductionist. That seems like a step backwards because you can't make the graboids progress further because it's a prequel.
Yeah.
Well, like
So
we
it's
talked about privately before we even started the movie, not everything needs a prequel.
No, yes, and I think this is one of those that, to be fair, I don't think these needed sequels.
Either.
Yeah, I truly don't. I think this is one of those that could have
sometimes
been
something
just like a
is
single,
good by itself.
Yeah.
Just one movie.
like Men in Black.
Yeah.
Should have stepped in one movie.
That was
The
first one was good. It was
It was.
great, and then it wasn't great.
Well, they just keep trying to pull.
I mean, it
them,
was
like,
great
further
still,
and
but it was like
further.
They really do.
really forced.
Yeah.
So what? All right. So anybody else got anything they want to say about this movie? I want to know something because me and Tristan been over here
Yeah.
bickering back and forth like an old married couple. You got some pros, some cons.
Yeah, the scientist kind of knows everything in this movie.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
a seismologist,
Well,
but she's
no,
also a biologist.
But at the moment,
Somehow.
she's like, I'm a seismologist. Like, it is funny when she's like, I don't know
Right.
something. Because up
Yeah.
until that point, when she says that, she knows everything.
Yeah, I'm just
Apparently.
like, are you just like
Were
a
you
super
supposed to know
scientist? Are you
this?
just like, intersectional? Do you just know everything?
Yeah.
And then she's just like, they're on the roofs at this point. He's just like, what do we do? And she's like, why are you asking me? I'm just like, because you knew
This wasn't
everything
in the
the entire
archives.
time.
Lord.
That was wild.
I'm surprised it only had a $10 million budget.
Okay, you're going a little fast. A little fast now.
I'm just looking at it. It's like,
What? Wait,
You got anything else you want to say before we move on?
no. Let's move.
All right, let's book it. All right,
Sorry.
All right. So this is part of the show where for our new guest here, this is part of the show where we give our grades. We like to grade these movies. Standard U.S. Western grading system.
Plus and minuses included.
Plus and minuses included, yes. And I'll go first. Just give an example. Ron Underwood. Excuse me. I apologize, sir. I enjoy what you did here. I think you've made a fun movie that is just something that you can literally lose yourself into. And I think around this time, I think the fact that it was able to stand stand up and become such like a not like a crowd pleaser, but to something that you could build a community around. Like you could go to like Tremors conventions or something like that sort of niche community. And I think that's something
I feel
like,
a part of this community now.
she about to grab her. I survived the Graboid shirt
30 years later.
30 years later.
And you're still running.
It's still running. I like that. But no, see, that's the kind of impact that you've made with this film. So I can only give it an A+. Like you've done good. You know, your movie's not perfect. Like Tristan said, you gotta Brent, S.S. Wilson, both of y'all got to work on this script a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Work on this story a little bit.
Why are there lawnmowers in the desert?
Okay, but they took off the blade. Look, white people be doing shit where they just be riding shit. So you know what I mean? Like, come on now, don't.
They got pickup trucks. They got Mazdas. They got everything
and they
else.
got young boys out there playing with basketball, playing pranks on people. Of course, he gonna ride that daggone tractor around somewhere.
Did anyone see a basketball like hoop?
Nope. Just a basketball.
He bounced. Have you ever tried to bounce basketballs on sand?
I bet you that
he
kid
was
had,
perfectly doing that.
I bet you that kid had sick handles. Just saying. He was the Allen Iverson of desert
Ankle
basketball.
breakers.
Allen Iverson. All right, but that is my grade. Let's give it up to SJ. What would you grade it?
Grade, like
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I just
A through A plus through F minus,
like, okay,
I believe.
she looked me in my damn face.
Okay, honestly, can I give it an A+? Because
no grade.
yeah, I liked it a lot. I did.
Okay.
A+ it is.
Okay.
I don't care about the bad stuff, you know. I'm just gonna, because I was so into it.
I wouldn't want you on jury duty.
No.
I don't need any evidence.
Like if I was the prosecutor, it'd be like, he might have murdered his next door neighbor.
But
But look at that beautiful garden that he had in his yard.
I'm just gonna give the movie an A+.
Okay.
That's fair.
Tristan.
Oh, me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Told you I'm all
This is a C movie for me.
You sound so morose about it. Like,
I mean, for me, it's just a matter of like movies that hold up well. It's okay.
It did hold up well.
I mean, that's a matter of interpretation.
let him have
For me, it's a C movie. Like, I'd watch this with some friends. I'd make a game out of it, but I'm not going out of my way to watch it again. I think it's fine. It's not a terrible movie. I just think it's about average for me. So C is my average, and that's kind of where it's gonna lie.
All right, Mr. Moore.
You know, C's get degrees, right?
Hey,
They do. They absolutely do.
Great segue.
And this movie gets a B for me.
okay.
This movie is one. I would definitely watch this movie again. I could throw this on into a sort of yearly rotation or bi-yearly rotation of just stuff to watch where I can just like sit back and not have to analyze it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I really can't undo that now. Thanks college for ruining movies.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this movie was really fun, and after I had to discard that I thought this movie would actually be serious in a capacity, I began to do that. I began to have fun, and the Gromplamites, Graboids,
the Gromplamites.
Don't nobody take that. Copyright.
That's Rick and Morty. It's already taken.
Dang it!
Poster in your room, my guy.
I forgot.
Like you were saying earlier, I think that the practicality of the monsters are actually really well done, and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I also think, and this is just something to add before we go on to our next segment, the playing of the floor is hot lava in this entire movie. It also makes it just like a level of fun. Just like seeing people out on their rooftops.
Yeah, it's
what were you
funny.
about to say?
No, nothing.
Yeah, it's something.
We're gonna have to rewind that clip
so
back.
They got the idea. I was reading through the how they went about production.
Were you reading this
I
while
was. And there were these two from the U.S. Army, Navy, I think.
Okay.
Navy, probably. They were on top of rocks when they decided, what if we couldn't get down from here? That's what literally it says.
That's very cool. No, that's very cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
The floor is lava.
It's just they were also what it doesn't mention is they were high as hell. When they
Yeah.
all,
Out in the desert with the burning bush.
Dude, what if we couldn't get down?
Like, why can't we, dude?
Like what if they're like sandworms?
No, sharks. Land sharks.
Land sharks.
And then they went to National Geographic.
Brent, S.S. Wilson, and Ron just sitting on the desert one day, having themselves some good stuff.
That
just
peyote.
dude, like you said.
Is that Baby
All
Yoda?
right. All right, people. Now that you know what we thought of it, let's hear about what the people thought of it back in the day. So it had a budget of $10 million, and it got that box office of $16 million, which honestly, even for that time, could be considered a financial flop. It did make its budget back, but I mean, with that so little funds, that is why every subsequent sequel is a straight to DVD sequel. Honestly, like I said, and I had that feeling watching this, is that it becomes like a cult classic. Like what? I'm not even gonna go through it, but it's 1990. Early 90s, we had all those movies coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like there was just a smorgasbord of stuff. So it's not hard to see how this could have got lost in the sauce too on its opening weekend.
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. In the graboid sauce. That's all coming out.
The sand?
No, they had the juices.
Oh yeah.
That
Like
just looked like that honey mustard. It looked like honey mustard mixed with like ketchup. It did. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Hey, Tristan. If the people want to hear more from you,
not scuffed.
shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Let me do this.
Reading from the script.
The magical world of editing. This is a great podcast.
If the people want to hear more of your lovely voice, such that it is, where can they find you?
If you want to hear more of my voice and also see what I look like, crazy enough, head on over to Tristan
face.
Blake Rhines, Tristan Blake, Blakerines. I got NFL and sports content galore over there.
That's
so,
sports content.
That's right. So
you ain't getting none of that over there. So you better go over there and get that sports.
but I very much so appreciate you having me on the podcast.
Of course.
Thank you very much. It's been a fun time.
You hold yourself
Absolutely.
very well. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
that.
Trey.
I appreciate it.
SJ.
Special guest.
Dude, you're the best.
Yes, hi.
If the people want to hear your musings,
Music?
where can they find more of you?
I haven't debuted it yet, so.
Okay.
Well, she contributed heavily to my
Trey.
YouTube channel, so
But yeah, you can always,
support her by supporting me, I suppose.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
Boosh.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Make sure that you check out the other shows that we have on the Facebook, the other main podcast that comes out every other Tuesday. Make sure you leave a like, share it with your friends and your family. Go check out our YouTube where we have content from other Production 1200 works. And make sure you follow us on the Instagram. We post sometimes there. We'll do more. We'll try. Maybe. Like us on iTunes podcast, rate and review. Give us them 5 stars. And we'll see you next time.
Damn prairie dog burrow.
We arm ourselves. We set perimeters. We stand guard. Kevin Bacon.
We could get in People magazine.
Fred Ward.
People. Hell. National Geographic.
Tremors.
We decided to leave this place just one damn day too late.